There are zero and non-zero numbers used to express precision and accuracy. They are commonly used in the lab to ensure certainty and precision. The rules to follow while doing significant figures are: leading zeros are always ignored. You never count zeros at the beginning of numbers. If a decimal point is present, trailing zeros are counted. Trailing zeros are placeholders to express the actual scale of the number. All non-zero numbers are counted. Let's try some together. This number has two significant figures because they are two non-zero numbers. Non-zero numbers are always significant figures. This number has one leading zero and two non-zero numbers, meaning it would have two significant figures. This one would be canceled. This number has two leading zeros followed by two non-zero numbers. Two leading zeros would both not be counted, meaning this number would only have two significant figures. This number has one trailing zero, which would not be counted, leaving it with only two significant figures as well. This one would be followed by the same rule, having only two significant figures and two trailing zeros, which would both not be counted. This number is a little different. It has two trailing zeros, but it also has a decimal point, meaning the two trailing zeros would be counted. So this number has two non-zero numbers and two trailing zeros followed by a decimal point, which would make them significant. This number has four significant figures. This number has two zeros followed by a non-zero number, meaning it would have four significant figures. These two zeros would be counted since they are in between two non-zero numbers. Same rule applies to this one. However, this one has one trailing zero. The trailing zero is not followed by a decimal point and would not be counted as a significant figure. This number also has only four significant figures. Finally, the same number has one decimal point after the trailing zero, making all the numbers in front of the decimal point significant, meaning this number would have five significant figures. 6 million only has one significant figure because there are no decimal points to make these zeros significant, meaning they are trailing zeros and not significant. 32 million does have a decimal point at the end, meaning all the zeros are significant and the two non-zero numbers are also significant, meaning this number would have 8 significant figures. Let's try some with decimals at the beginning. These zeros are before a non-zero number and are not counted. Only the two zeros after the decimal and after the non-zero numbers are counted, meaning this number has 4 significant figures: the two non-zero numbers and the two zeros after the decimal point. This number also has 2 significant figures. The first zero is not counted since it's a leading zero before a non-zero number. Finally, this number has zeros in between non-zero numbers, making them significant. All the zeros would be counted as significant figures. This number has 6 significant figures. Rules that are applied in calculations are a little different than normal significant figure rules. While doing multiplication and division, values will have the same number of significant figures as the measured value with the least significant number. For example, 2.8756 times 3.2 is 9.20192. This number has 2 significant figures, meaning your answer will also have two significant figures. So it would be 9.2 or 9.2 times 10 to the fifth. In an addition and subtraction, values should have the same precision as the least precise measurement or value used in the calculation. As we see in this example, 101.25 plus 1,353.2 and 123.48 are all added together. The answer will have one significant figure after the decimal point because, as we see here, the least precise number is only one digit after the decimal point. So our answer will also be one digit after the decimal point. Our answer will be 1,577.8. Significant figures are used in our everyday life in places we don't even realize. For example, a simple Diet Pepsi bottle has significant figures written on it for the fluid ounce. 20 fluid ounce written on the bottle has one significant figure because there is one non-zero number followed by a trailing zero.